Asiansleepy here, and welcome to another episode of my weekly playlist series. We've made it to another Friday, which means it's time for me to share with you guys the games I've been playing during the week. You know, I'll give you guys my thoughts and opinions on the titles, whether I think you guys should check them out or not. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts about the games I share with you. Also, let me know what the games you guys are playing, as it gives me great ideas on new games to check out. And if you guys have any suggestions on games you think I should play, let me know, as I'm always looking for new games to play and experience. And I do have a nice growing list thanks to your guys' recommendations. So this week I've actually been able to play a lot of games because I am currently on vacation. I do apologize that I couldn't release a weekly playlist video last week, but last Friday we finally buried my grandmother, so we had her funeral. It was a beautiful service. It was really good to get back with all of the family, and we were able to bury her next to my grandfather. And so, you know, I was just busy the entire day. I took off from work and stuff, so I just did not have time to film that video. And I really didn't play a whole lot of games that week anyways, as I was busy with work and just taking a break from stuff with the funeral. But this week, now that I'm on vacation, which I have 7 more days off because I had a total of 9 days off. It's been nice to be able to just relax and do whatever I want and be able to play games. And so this week I've got 2 for Xbox One I'm going to share with you. First one here is Mutant, which this is a really cool open world action RPG. I'll read you guys from the back. Mutant is an open-world post-apocalyptic kung fu fable RPG with a unique martial arts-styled combat system allowing you to mix melee, shooting, and mutant ability action. A plague is ruining the land, and the Tree of Life is bleeding death from its roots. The tribes stand divided, explore a world in turmoil, define its fate. Will it be its savior or lead to an even darker destiny? So there is a good ending and a bad ending, and it depends on your moral choices and stuff in the game. So let's take a look here at Mutant.
Something as beautiful as this be dying. A plague is ruining the land, but the Tree of Life still stands. Question is, for how long? End is coming to the new world. The tribes stand divided, in need of someone strong enough to unite them, or bring them all down. This is a story with an unusual beginning. So, let's expect an unusual end.
Alright guys, we're taking a look at Mutant today, which this is a really interesting open world action RPG that I'm checking out because my buddy Todd actually gave me a copy of it on PlayStation 4, and it just looked really fun, so I figured I'd pick up a copy for the Xbox One that I'm playing here on my Xbox One X. And I've currently got 3 hours and 24 minutes in the game so far, and I'm currently level 5. And I do want to warn people that the game has been plagued with bugs in the past. So there were some game-breaking bugs, and some people couldn't even get the game to start. I'll let you guys know that it has been patched a couple times, but even with the patches, I've had the game fail to launch a couple times, and then it does have a longer loading time. So it does look like there's a few issues they need to fix. I know the PC version was plagued a lot more, and I know sometimes the PlayStation copies also had issues, but once you get the game going, though, it is a really fun experience, and it's one that I was really interested in checking out. And my buddy Todd, he just couldn't get into it. It just wasn't his kind of game. But after playing it for a while, I really do enjoy it.
For certain values of right.
So this thing, I'll read you guys the back of the case. So there's Biomutant is an open-world, post-apocalyptic kung fu fable RPG with a unique martial arts style combat system, allowing you to mix melee, shooting, and mutant ability action. A plague is ruining the land, and the tree of life is bleeding death from its roots. The tribe stands divided. Explore a world in turmoil and define its fate. Will you be its savior or lead to an even darker destiny? So it's really cool. You get to play as let's see if we can get some light, show you guys more. So you guys can see you have a pretty, decent sized map that you get to go and explore. So all of this whole area is where you can go for your various quests and stuff, which you have your main quests. And you'll have your side quests that you can find randomly throughout the world to complete, which will then level you up, and then of course you go through and see all the quests you completed. So I've got over 3 hours in this game. And then there are different tribes that inherit this area, and you have to side with certain ones to become allies with, and other ones you have to take over, and you have to unite all the tribes to try to help save the world. And you can do good things or you can do evil stuff, so you are rated with a good side or a bad side. So there are 2 different endings, which is pretty cool. So you do have some moral choices. Do have a pretty unique inventory system for your character, where you can various pieces of armor and helmets. So let me turn off the helmets so you guys can see what I look like. So all the characters are these little marsupial looking kind of creatures, and there's actually like 6 different races you can choose from, and then you have different classes and stuff, and you also can adjust the color on them as well. So you can change, what helmets you wear. You can put on different armor pieces. You can put stuff covering your face. You have shoulder pads you can put on. You can wear like backpacks on the back. You can change what kind of weapons you have if you want to dual wield. And then you can go through and see all the stuff in your inventory, which I really like the inventory system. There's also a crafting system, so you can actually enhance your weapons and stuff as you find, and you can gather resources. You can do preset outfits if you would like to. So that's what my character looks like if he's not wearing anything. I made a red and black, kind of like a pinkish red character. This looks kind of cool. And then you also have this automaton, little robotic grasshopper, and you can change his appearance when you find other things for him. But he actually is commentating in the game, and he's actually a translator for your character for when other people talk, because they kind of have like a mumbled talk, and he actually tells you what it means in English since they're not speaking English, which is pretty cool. Then you have your overall character stats, your vitality, your strength, your intellect, your agility, charisma, and luck. And of course, as you play through the game, you're able to upgrade those abilities. You have your Wung Fu, so these are basically your combat abilities that you can unlock. You also have perks that you can unlock, and then your character does have magic abilities. So like here you can see good side, bad side. I have 5 light, 0 dark, so I've made no bad evil choices yet. And then you also have mutations. This is where like you can get your powers and stuff. Like I have lightning attack with a spark ball, and then you also have this blazing fire attack, and you have several different ones that you can unlock as you level up that require different points. So overall, I'm really liking this action RPG. You also have resistances, typical in these RPG games, where you have to be wary of the different kinds of damages and attacks you can have. Oh boy, I better. Let's get my gear on. Let's get outfits. Okay. Now let's go fight somebody so I can show you guys the combat here. There's different size guys. So what's pretty cool is you have guns you can use, and you can get different kinds. Right now I just have the starting pistol in the game. And sweet. Alright, that's awesome. I killed him with that missile. But you get to explore this post-apocalyptic world here, which is really sweet. And I really like the running ability for your character. They end up running on all fours, and so that's how they do their sprinting and stuff, which is really sweet. When you find things you can interact with in the world, you have a little indicator above it, and so you can interact, and you can find random things in the world. So there's a lot of scavenging and stuff that you can do as you go throughout the world, which is awesome. And the graphics too just look amazing on my 4K TV here in 4K. Just beautiful. The world looks really good. So the graphics on this game are awesome. I also love the music because it's got that kind of
the whereabouts, the deepest, darkest forest in the land. Sometimes hard to see for all the trees.
And I really like the music too because it has that like Far East, like kung fu type music. Just really awesome music that I just really do love. Voice acting is really good because you have the that narrator, and where you saw he even started talking. When you do find new places, he explains about the land to you, and random things you'll find he will tell you and talk to you about, and like say, hey, this is this area, this is what this does, this used to do this. So it's something that's really cool because you might not know what an area is, and he'll explain it to you. So that's just really sweet. And you have your indoor and outdoor locations. And then like there's a NPC up here I can interact with, and I'll show you guys how the talking goes in the game.
Gizmo wants to help if he can.
And so, like they said, they have their own little language that they talk, and your automaton, he's translating for you. And then it'll tell you about how, now that I'm talking about how I can gather locations and stuff. So you definitely want to pay attention to the hints and stuff in the game and what characters are telling you, because they will help you with quests and stuff. And like this is talking about information for finding out. And then of course you have a check system, with your charisma and how good you are with that. So sometimes people might lie to you, or sometimes you might not be able to get them to intimidate them and stuff like that, depending on the attribute points you have.
Says there's an interesting place nearby that no one knows about, but doesn't really want to talk about it right
So I'm
now.
going to try to persuade him and see if he'll let me.
Says there's no reason to let you in on where it is.
So see the different, you can see there, it tells me how successful I'll be.
Says there's no reason to make threats. Would have told you about it sooner or later. It's not far from here. Always happy to see you getting an early start. Has plenty to do, so no worries. Gizmo wants to help if he can. Says talking to you was interesting.
So there you can see different stuff. I was able to persuade him to tell me that secret. So I just really like that interaction in games. Just really sweet. And the world is just awesome. I really do like exploring this world. I love the combat because you can have your melee attacks. You can pull out your gun, and then
The cooing of the water in the ground is strange.
see, then I can do electric attacks and stuff like that. So just really sweet. And you have your your key energy there in that blue bar. So you can only do so much magic attacks without it. But definitely, if you have not played Biomutant yet, I definitely recommend you give it a try, as it's a game that I really have enjoyed playing, and I think you guys will enjoy it as well. Enjoyed that look at Biomutant. Like I said, it's a really fun kung fu RPG, action RPG that you can run around. You have main story to go through. You also have side missions and stuff. You've got 2 different endings, and it's just a really fun game. I definitely think you guys should check out. And the next game we're going to talk about here is an old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game that I have not played in a while. I originally played it on Xbox 360, and that is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan. So you got to save Manhattan from the Shredder. You have big bosses. You can make it a party with up to 4 players in online co-op, and shell up to the challenge. So let's take a look here at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan.
Ninja Turtles.
Alright guys, we're taking a look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan. I've had this game for several years now. I originally had it on Xbox 360, which I got through about halfway through, but I picked it up on the Xbox One when Family Video was selling this back in 2020 when they closed their stores down. I got it for only $10, which I'm a huge fan of Ninja Turtles. I've loved them ever since the original series from the 80s are out. And this is a game that I really do like, and if you are a fan of Ninja Turtles, I highly recommend it. Let me just warn you guys though that this game has been delisted like 5 or 6 years ago, and so you cannot download off the marketplace. It completely installed off the disc, and so the only way to get this game and play it is if you have a physical copy of it, as it shows that's been delisted from the marketplaces. So no updates and no way to download it. So you have a story mode, a multiplayer mode. There's collectibles in the game to find, all kinds of cool stuff like that. And I've just been playing through the story mode, just real early here. I've only beat 1 of the levels, but you do also able to level up your turtles. So they do have different stuff, and you earn skill points as you play through the game. You have your different stages, where I actually got an S ranking here on the Bebop stage, which I'll just show you guys the Bebop again. You could choose of one of the 4 turtles you want to play as, but you do have all 4 available at the beginning of the game. You can change your difficulty setting, of course, from easy, normal, hard, and then if you beat the hard mode, you unlock even harder difficulty that you can unlock. So we'll get started here. But you have all your classic characters. You got Rocksteady and Bebop, you've got Shredder, you've got Krang. Just really cool villains and classic ones you get to battle in this.
Dudes, check it out. It's the foot. What the heck are those foot losers doing here? Last I checked, this was those purple dragon losers' turf. Losers. As much as I prefer to use my head, my gut's screaming that this is just a precursor to something larger.
And my gut's screaming that it's time for an extra large with anchovies and sausage.
Forget it, Mikey. We need to find out what the foot are up to. Let's move.
You just anchovies?
And of course, it wouldn't be a Turtles game without their love of pizza. So you've got the same humor and everything. So, foot soldiers, just really fun. You have different co-op attacks and stuff you can unlock in the game, and then you can switch between the different turtles by hitting different things on the D-pad. And of course, each turtle has its own unique attacks with its different abilities, so you may find one you like better. You might like Donnie because of his staff, or you might like Leonardo because of his swords. And then throughout the missions, you'll have little ranking system here. Like I got a rank S ranking, and it depends on how your performance in the battles go.
Remember, guys, if you ever need any items, just stop by the lair to get some from Splinter.
And this first level acts as
I'm picking up a huge swarm of bad
sort of a tutorial, but there is an actual tutorial level you can go through. But this level will teach you more things of how to play.
It's an enemy helicopter. They're scanning the ground from up there, so be careful.
That felt good. Far too easy.
You found them. Donnie arrived at the crime scene.
And then those little pizzas represent your health bars, and you can unlock more health and stuff as you progress through the game, because it will get more difficult. There are boss battles and stuff where the bosses are just absolutely difficult, even on normal. It really takes a lot of skill to defeat some of these bosses. You can also play this game co-op as well, which is cool, and have the 4 people playing as one of the turtles.
Ringing like the bell.
Oh, that must have been tough.
And then you do get battle point bonus based on different things that the characters achieve, and you can see what their health bars are like.
You really should come back to the lair and stock up on items soon. I'm picking up a huge swarm of bad guys. Be careful out there.
There's also some stealth elements too you can do sometimes in the game, but overall it's just a really fun Turtles game that I would recommend if you can find it for a good price. Because it's been delisted locally, it's a fairly expensive game. People usually here want $40, $50, $60 for a copy, as this was released on PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, it was released on PS4, was Xbox One, the PC, and I'm not sure if it was ever released on the Nintendo Switch or not, but since it's been delisted, the game can be pretty difficult to track down a physical copy, and the price for it may be a little high, but if you can get it for a decent price, I recommend checking out, especially if you're a fan of the Ninja Turtles like I am. Definitely like this fun Turtles adventure game. You know, it's not a side-scroll beat-em-up that are like Turtles in Time or anything, but still a really fun Turtles game that I recommend you guys check out. As I've been having blast with it, and I do plan to beat it this week as I am on vacation. So I hope you guys enjoyed this look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan. It's a fun Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game that I definitely recommend you guys check out if you're a big fan of the Ninja Turtles like I am. We'll do a quick little recap like we always do, where I talked about Biomutant. This is a wonderful open world action RPG where you get to have kung fu abilities, but you also have guns, so you're able to mix melee and gun abilities and magic abilities too. Really great game. I really like the story. The graphics are amazing. The music is awesome. Just a really wonderful game that I definitely think you guys should check out. And then we also talked about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan. It's a fun little Turtles game. If you're a fan of the Turtles, you'll definitely enjoy this game. It has all the classic humor, their love of pizza and stuff, classic villains like Shredder, Rocksteady, Bebop, you know, just all kinds of classic ones to go through. Do just want to warn you though that you cannot get it digitally anymore, as it has been delisted, and so the only way to get the game is to have it installed from the disc, which mine completely installed from the disc, and I have not encountered any issues. But unfortunately, since it's delisted, that means there are no updates, so you could run into issues like that, and it has caused the prices locally here for these copies of these games to go up, because you can't buy it digitally anymore. The only way to get it is physical. So I did just want to warn you guys about that. But let me know you guys' thoughts if you played Biomutant or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan. I do like both of these games. Been having a blast with them. Let me know what games you guys are playing, as that gives me ideas of new games to check out. And if you have any recommendations on a game you think I should play, let me know. So you guys always do recommend really fun titles. I want to thank you guys for watching. Take care. You guys have an amazing week. And Sleepy will see you next time.